So in our last video, we served up a neat little story called the Big Brain Hypothesis, the idea that our adorable giant-headed babies forced humans into monogamy because mom and dad had to team up to keep little Junior from becoming
a saber-toothed tiger's lunch.
It was a nice, tidy explanation.
And then we read the comments.
It seems our simple mom plus dad plus big-brained baby story wasn't the final chapter. It was more like the pilot episode. So if pair bonding, two people sticking together, was nature's original blueprint, then why do people cheat? For hundreds of years, we looked at birds and thought, wow, they really have it figured out. We saw species like swans and albatrosses pairing up, and we believed they were mating for life. For a long, long time, bird experts, called ornithologists, would watch a nest and see the same male and female bird working together all season. They'd write in their notebooks,
Yep, looks like a happy, faithful couple.
And then a new technology came along and blew the whole thing wide open. In the late 1980s, scientists got a powerful new tool, DNA testing. Suddenly, they could do something they'd never been able to do before. They could go to a nest, take a tiny, safe sample from the baby chicks, the mom and the dad, and run a paternity test. They went to the nests of all these supposedly faithful birds, expecting the tests to confirm what they already knew. But when the results came in nest after nest across many monogamous species, they found that a significant number of the chicks didn't belong to the dad who was working his little tail feathers off to feed them. The female, while socially paired with him, had been having some, let's call them,
side adventures with other males.
This blew the lid off everything. That lifelong, faithful partnership was often just a social front. The reality was a far more complex. This discovery led us to understand a new concept, serial monogamy. For most bird species that we once called monogamous, serial monogamy is the real operating system. It works like this. Think of it like a business contract for a specific project. They team up to do one job, successfully raise their babies. They build a nest together, they protect it from danger, and they both feed the chicks. For that whole season, they are a team. They are a couple. But once the last baby bird flies away and the job is done, the contract is over. The partnership dissolves. The next year, they are free to find new partners to start a new project with. When you hear the word monogamy, what pops into your head? Probably this: two people, one heart, one life, a partnership that starts with I do and ends with happily ever after. Why is love so complicated? We search for the one, promise forever, but breakups are common. We value trust above all, yet infidelity can shatter relationships. It feels like a messy contradiction. But what if I told you the answer isn't in modern self-help books, but is actually coded into our ancient DNA? To understand our modern hearts, we need to understand our prehistoric brains. We've already talked about this one. You are socially and sexually exclusive with one partner for a period. It could be months, years, or even decades. But it's not for a lifetime. When it's over, you might start a new monogamous relationship with someone else. This is incredibly common for both humans and many animal species. Next, sexual monogamy. This is the ideal we see in movies. Two partners who are socially, emotionally, and sexually exclusive with each other for their entire lives. No one else is allowed inside the bubble. It's a promise of physical faithfulness. Now here's the shocker. In the animal kingdom, true sexual monogamy is super, super rare. Meet the most common type. Social monogamy. This is the most important operating system for humans and many birds. Social monogamy is about teamwork, not necessarily sexual exclusivity. Socially monogamous partners share a home, share resources, and raise children together. They are life partners. They present themselves to the world as a couple. This teamwork gives their offspring the best chance of survival. But are they always 100% sexually faithful? Not always. Many bird species that are perfect social partners are known to have side adventures. Now we know humans practice serial monogamy and social monogamy. But why do they often follow these patterns? A human baby is a full-time job for years. A single parent trying to find food, fight off predators, and care for a baby would have a nearly impossible task. The solution? Create a survival team. That's where social monogamy comes in. This team created a brilliant division of labor that made life possible. The hunter? One partner, typically the male, would focus on the high-risk, high-reward job of hunting large animals. This provided essential protein and fat, but was dangerous and not always successful. The other partner, typically the female, focused on the reliable, steady job of gathering plants, nuts, and berries. This was the food you could count on day to day. She was also the primary caregiver for the child, who needed constant attention. It was teamwork. Social monogamy gave their children a better chance at surviving in the wild. But here's the twist. The idea of a lifelong partnership was probably the goal, but the prehistoric world was a harsh reality. Life was short and dangerous. The average lifespan was short. People died from injuries, illnesses, or accidents. If a hunter was killed by an animal, his partner and child would be left vulnerable. Her best chance for survival was to form a new survival team with another partner. The same was true if a mother died. The father would need a new partner to help care for the child. It was a strategy for resilience. Performance reviews were brutal. What if your partner was a terrible hunter and never brought back food? What if they were lazy or infertile and couldn't help the group grow? In a world without grocery stores, you couldn't afford to be with a partner who couldn't contribute. Everything makes sense, but here's the real question. Why would our ancestors risk their stable survival team by cheating? For them, it was a secret backup plan, an insurance policy just in case. For a male, the evolutionary goal is to pass on your genes. While his main partner was his best bet, having a secret relationship with another female was a low-cost way to potentially have more children, more lottery tickets in the game of life. For a female, this was even more strategic. Her main partner provided for her daily. But what if she had a secret affair with the strongest hunter in the tribe? She could get extra resources, more food, more protection, for her and her child. She could get better genes for her next child, making them stronger or smarter, increasing their chances of survival. This is exactly why modern love feels so complicated. It's a blend of ancient urges wired into our modern brains. The amazing thing about being human is that we're not slaves to our prehistoric brains. We have conscious choice. We can recognize these ancient urges and decide which ones to act on. Choosing to stay faithful to one partner isn't about ignoring instinct. It's about choosing what truly matters. When you choose trust over temptation, you don't end the game. You level up.